This video was made in collaboration with NARUTOPEDIA. For more information, check out the link in the description. The life of Yahiko from Naruto. Yahiko was a shinobi from Amegakure. Alongside his fellow war orphans, Nagato and Konan, he founded and led the Akatsuki in an attempt to bring peace. Following Yahiko's death, Nagato would turn his body into the Deva Path of his 6 paths of pain, which he used as the continued public image of Akatsuki's leadership. Welcome to the Amagi. In today's video, we're going over the life of Yahiko. Before we begin, we publish a new video every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. The Amagi's stretch reaches beyond just this channel, so if you're a fan of us, please consider subscribing to our other channels and following us on all of our social medias. Help us reach our goal of passing 100,000 followers on all of our accounts by the end of the year. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Background. Yahiko was orphaned during the Second Shinobi World War, forcing him to steal food in order to survive, prior to him teaming up with a fellow war orphan named Konan. Soon after they found a place to call home, Yahiko expressed his displeasure from Konan bringing another war orphan, Nagato, into the group. However, Yahiko eventually accepted Nagato and his dog Chibi into his group. Angered by how unfair the world was to them, Yahiko declared that he would become a god to end the fighting. Soon after the death of Chibi, Yahiko and the others eventually encountered Jiraiya, who looked after them and taught them basic ninjutsu. At one point, Nagato saved Yahiko after an Iwagakure Chunin attacked them. Afterwards, Yahiko vowed to become strong enough to protect Konan, Nagato, and eventually all of Amegakure. During their time with Jiraiya, he created a defense system so they could protect themselves should enemy ninja find their hideout. It was comprised of 4 planks, each with one red side and one white, which had a frog picture on it. The 4 planks were attached to a part of a wall on the hideout with their names underneath each respective plank. Nagato's on the left, Yahiko's in the middle, and Konan's on the right, while Jiraiya's was on a separate wall. The purpose of the planks was a defense mechanism. If one of them were in the hideout, they would simply turn their plank to the red side. If for some reason the red plank was turned, yet the person was not there, it could alert the others that the member had been kidnapped. If one of them were to leave the hideout, they would simply flip their plank to the white side. If it should happen that a plank is turned on the white side, yet the person is in the hideout, it could mean that an enemy is transformed into said person and has infiltrated the hideout. Jiraiya also built a trapdoor hidden amongst the floorboards, leading to a hidden room and emergency escape route, just in case. Yahiko asked why Jiraiya always tried to force his frog ways on them, and that they only tolerated it because he was the frog sage. Konan then explained the possible reasons for implementing a code like that, which Jiraiya praised her for. He then declared that it was time to get to training, to which Yahiko responded to enthusiastically claiming that one day he would get stronger and change the country before running outside. After hearing his words, Konan blushed at him, to which Yahiko responded with a perverted smile reminiscent of that of his masters. This also demonstrated his Benkai persona, where he was a braggart while in his own home, but demonstrated a more reserved demeanor in public. Over time, the 3 would train to be talented shinobi, and it's hinted that Yahiko and Konan developed romantic feelings for each other. Sometime after Jiraiya's departure from Amegakure, the 3 gained a reputation as a talented shinobi team. Still desiring to create a world of peace, Yahiko and his friends went on to become fully fledged Ame ninja. Around this time, during the 3rd Shinobi World War, the trio met Obito Uchiha, who was acting under the guise of Madara Uchiha and Zetsu. Listening to the results of what would happen from the Eye of the Moon plan, Yahiko did not trust the masked men, and urged Konan and Nagato to stay away from them. Later, gathering many supporters who shared their ideals, Yahiko established the Akatsuki, though Obito claims to have played a role in the group's creation. Akatsuki spread their beliefs to stop war without violence, and news of their actions would reach Jiraiya from time to time. When their group became too big, they were forced to find another hideout and leave their current one where they once lived with Jiraiya. When they were about to leave and flip over their hop-in planks, a ninja squad attached the hideout, creating an explosion which resulted in a hole in the roof, which they used to infiltrate the hideout. Yahiko, after Konan flipped her plank just before he was about to flip his, noticed the attack in time and used the escape route just before the ninja entered the hideout. Seeing the Akatsuki's ideals becoming a threat to his regime over Amegakure, Hanzo conspired with Danzo Shimura to eliminate the Akatsuki's 3 leading ninja. Springing the trap, Hanzo forced Nagato into a position where either the dictator killed Konan in front of them or he murdered Yahiko. However, without hesitation and not wanting Nagato to be put in such a position, Yahiko drove himself into a kunai Nagato was holding. With his final breath, he told Nagato to continue their mission of finding peace. Legacy. Following Yahiko's death and Nagato's subsequent immobility, Nagato, using his Rinnegan and chakra receivers, incorporated Yahiko's corpse into his 6 paths of pain technique. As the Deva Path, Yahiko's body acted as Pain's main body, it being the one he most commonly used and spoke through. This is because Nagato and Konan still saw Yahiko as the leader of Akatsuki and used his body to symbolize this. In addition to the control of gravity that is central to the Deva Path's abilities, Yahiko's body is used for many of the miscellaneous techniques that Nagato performs for Akatsuki meetings. The Deva Path was held in higher regard during combat, as some of the other bodies were unhesitatingly sacrificed to ensure its survival. Over the following years, the Deva Path is used for a number of different purposes. Shortly after Yahiko's death, it and the other 6 Paths of Pain were used to overthrow and kill Hanzo. When Jiraiya infiltrates Amegakure in order to find out more about Akatsuki, the Deva Path fights him and ultimately contributes to his death. In the anime, the Deva Path assists in the capture of the Six Tails. During Pain's assault, it is used to destroy Konohagakure, and is the last of the 6 Paths of Pain to be defeated by Naruto. Following Deva Path's defeat and Nagato's death, Konan took both of the bodies back to Amegakure and created a shrine for them, placing their bodies on a bed of paper flowers. It was later desecrated by Tobi, who stole Nagato's body. Yahiko's corpse is currently the only one that is lying in repose there. Personality. Yahiko's personality was similar to Naruto Uzumaki's, albeit with a few darker differences. Like Naruto, his dream was to be a leader of his village, and he never gave up no matter what. However, when he was still alive, Yahiko had strong eye for eye and survival of the fittest philosophies. He hated the way Amegakure was looked at by the rest of the world, and hated what it had become. He was defensive of the village, saying it was his dream to stop the endless rain, which he compared to tears, and protect the nation's citizens. Yahiko wanted to become ruler of the world so there wouldn't be any more wars. It was implied by his dialogue that this also gave him somewhat of a god complex. Many of these traits were adopted by Nagato after Yahiko died. Among the 3 orphans, Yahiko seemed to act as the leader of the group. It was Yahiko who first approached the Sannin to ask for food, and was the first to ask Jiraiya to teach them ninjutsu. With Jiraiya's influence on them, Yahiko even seemingly started to adopt some of Jiraiya's mannerisms, such as his boastful facial expressions. He also seemed to act as a somewhat tough older brother for Nagato and Konan, reminding Nagato not to cry as it won't do them anything and act more manly, although Yahiko was the one who cried when Jiraiya left them. He also wished to become stronger so as to protect Nagato and Konan. He had faith in Nagato when he got older. Yahiko was willing to commit suicide rather than endanger Konan's life, displaying a very high level of loyalty for those he cared for. He also had romantic feelings for her, which were reciprocated. Even though Yahiko was seen as the leader of the Akatsuki, he himself had always known it would be Nagato who guided the Akatsuki to true peace. Yahiko was known to be sharp-witted, having figured out Madara was an imposter and knowing his plan was just a ruse, and instructed Nagato and Konan to stay away from him. Did you enjoy our video? Be sure to check out these other great videos from the Amagi, and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.